Poltergeist 3 is a ghostly horror movie sequel. So we're back with the same little girl from the first two movies, but instead of following her and her mom and dad, we're now following her and her aunt and uncle. And yes, basically the uncle and the aunt, they're like the owners of like this hotel or like this very large building, this tower, and she lives with them. Basically, all the stuff from the first two movies was just, I assume, too much for the parents, and they basically needed someone to look after the little girl. Well, everything's been good with the little girl until one day she starts seeing the cult leader from the second one, which was a little weird because I thought they defeated him, but you kind of find out a little later why she's re-seeing this guy. And yeah, she's at this school, and basically a counselor or somebody is very interested in her. He wants to know if basically the rumors about her are true. And this dude's kind of just like a maniac in a sense because he doesn't believe her. He has convinced himself and others that she creates basically hallucinations through suggestive lying. And he's basically like, look, let me put her under hypnosis and really figure out what's happening. And long story short, because he ends up doing that, it ends up allowing that cult leader spirit to find her. In the movie is basically she's at this place with her uncle and aunt. It's like a hotel tower, and now this entity, cult guy, evil spirit from the second movie has found her, and he controls the mirrors, and he wants her because he wants to go to the light, but it's not all like, rainbows and butterflies. And honestly, that's just about the movie summed up. I really just want to talk about the review. So my review to Poltergeist 3, and a little sad fact, not a little sad, but definitely very sad, but a little fact about this movie is after this young lady, the girl from the first, all of the movies, she ends up actually passing away in real life when she was 13. I think it said in 1988, and this movie came out in 1988, so a little after when this movie came out, she passed away. It was just sad because honestly, she was easily, you could see the growth of that acting from her, and she was a pretty good actress for a young child. And in the third one, she was definitely one of the best, actors in this movie. Like, the acting wasn't horrible. Her acting was really, really good. The crazy counselor dude who thought she was lying was really good because you really didn't like that guy. That guy was well written, while the movie wasn't written good at all. And then the acting of the aunt and uncle, sometimes it was good and sometimes it was just dramatically over the top. Like, they were definitely doing a little too much in certain spots. So I mean, like, the acting wasn't horrible. I definitely thought like the little girl was like killing the adults in the acting, which is pretty good. Back to the writing, like I was talking about, that guy was written really, really well for some reason in this movie, because the movie honestly was just not written well. I think that's probably the reason it's not considered good, because it's not really good, is because it's just super not well written. I mean, the story is not interesting. They bring back the second dude, he's supposed to be gone. It's not even the mom and dad anymore. Yeah, the only cool thing kind of was the mirrors, and then like they killed the legacy character with the psychic lady off. just a bunch of bad writing, and the end was absolutely horribly written and done. An example, well, the main reason why I say that is because what happened to the young man? The young lady's boyfriend, what happened to her? What happened to the aunt and uncle's daughter's boyfriend? He just gets left in the spirit world or the other dimension. Like, basically, the little girl, the young lady, and the boyfriend get dragged into the puddle. When the boyfriend and the young lady come out, you find out that that wasn't really them when they kill the counselor. And then at the very end of the movie, when the aunt rescues her family, it's no daughter boyfriend to be seen. Like, they just forgot him, which was just the writing in the movie in general, honestly, was very, very weak. I hate when you have movies with like a good 1 and 2, and then the third one's just like they just feel like they make it to round off a trilogy, and I'm not a big fan of that. Honestly, it wasn't that good. The movie only had like 1 or 2 like decent practical effects. The easily like one of the best parts is when the psychic lady gets killed and her body falls to the ground, and then the aunt and uncle's daughter comes out of her. That was easily the best part of like the movie. There was that stupid part with the frozen cars that was just dumb. I mean, just all in all, the movie was pretty mid. But what sucks is that 1 and 2 were pretty good, so it just was kind of a letdown. And I could kind of go on a little bit about some other stuff, but my recommendation for Poltergeist 3, and I'ma have to say I'd kind of recommend it. It's not a good round off to a trilogy. They even kind of end the movie with like, oh, there'd be a 4th one. But yeah, unfortunately, this movie just wasn't it there. But I still would kind of recommend it because at the end of the day, there was a couple good things about it. And if it was just its own movie, like, I wouldn't say it was horrible. It's definitely not bad at all. So.